This is the Palin Update on SaraNet Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla.
I've stood up to the old politics as usual, to the special interests, to the lobbyists, the big oil companies, and the good old boy network.
You know him from his unique hosting style and infectious voice, the man who brought us lifestyles of the rich and famous in the mid-1980s into the 90s. Today, he's here to talk about what needs to happen to get the U.S. back on track and bring those champagne wishes and caviar dreams back to the people and away from crooked politicians. Robin Leach, who has an interesting perspective on the greatness of our country, is here. And he's still ticked off over a comment President Obama made about Leach's beloved Las Vegas. Later, we'll take a look back at a busy week of Palin headlines, including the governor's take on a brave mom in Oklahoma, and some big news out of Washington that Palinistas are very happy about. Also, Governor Palin's comments after Iowa. A busy edition of the Palin Update, kicking off with our special guest. Robin Leach is here on the Palin Update. Mr. Leach, thank you, sir, for coming on today.
Pleasure.
Now, you are the main man and writer at VegasDeluxe.com, reporting on entertainment and Vegas news, right up your alley. And in Sin City, I'm sure you don't have a shortage of story ideas.
There's no shortage with all the stars that we have here, ever-changing on the Strip. We are indeed the entertainment capital of the world. I also happen to think we're the fine dining capital of the world with over 100 celebrity chefs and restaurants. And, of course, along with star biz and food biz comes shopping biz. And with all the couturier stores and the fashion boutiques, I think we've got that side of it covered as well.
Now, your name is really synonymous with Las Vegas nowadays, and I know you really took it personally when President Obama made his disparaging remarks about Vegas. Back in 2009, during a town hall meeting in Indiana, the president called out Vegas specifically when talking about executives of financial institutions, saying you can't take a trip to Las Vegas. Let's go back and hear that cut. Obama suggesting that Vegas is linked to corporate excess, words that Vegas officials say hurt the tourist industry big time.
You are not going to be able to give out these big bonuses until you've paid taxpayers back. You can't get corporate jets. You can't go take a trip to Las Vegas or go down to the Super Bowl on the taxpayers' dime.
Okay, there you have it. Why did that bother you so much, and what does this comment say about Obama's leadership?
Well, first of all, let's point out he still hasn't apologized for that remark. And let's point out that he didn't do it just that one time. He did it yet again and hasn't apologized for that.
Yep, and almost 3 years now from the initial comment.
Yeah, and never apologized. Here's the thing that shows exactly where his brain is at. He didn't realize when he said that he was indicting Las Vegas because he viewed it through the small prism of a social worker looking at people playing games of chance. It never occurred to him that this was the largest convention city in the entire world with an entire population of people that work in that industry. Conventions are the lifeblood of this city far more than gaming is. And he lost us, that one remark lost us 2,000 conventions within the 7-day period of him making it. Cancellations. 2,000 conventions were canceled. It's only now, 2 and 3 years later, that we're beginning to get everybody back. So hopefully he keeps his mouth shut this time around.
See, you have that Palin spirit and many of your thoughts going rogue, if you will, and speaking your mind unfiltered for the betterment of the community, and while using common sense. I think folks appreciate that.
Well, I'm just being honest. I mean, we understand that Las Vegas always has to fight this image problem of being a city that's steeped in gaming. But it's not true. It's a community. It's the 48th largest, 46th largest demographic market in America. Thriving population, 2 million people, all of whom work hard, have jobs, try to make a decent living. So to attack it through a very small prism was really stupid.
This economy obviously needs a boost. Vegas really could be a huge part of that recovery with all there is to do there. Tell everyone, you mentioned a little bit what's great about Vegas, and it is known for a lot of grown-up activities, if you will, but it really is a place for all ages too, right?
We do have attractions here for parents that bring their families. They've not been as successful as keeping it an adult-themed community. But what I want to tell you is that Vegas, in the last few years, has become the center of the Cleveland Clinic's research and treatment of Alzheimer's. And this is a major breakthrough for this city. And Vegas is now becoming a very important medical center in the United States. This year, in February, over President's Weekend, Muhammad Ali is celebrating his 70th birthday here at a big fundraiser. Vegas is known for its extraordinary generosity to charity, and they're going to split the funds raised at his 70th birthday in the MGM Grand Garden Arena between the Alzheimer's Keep Memory Alive organization here and Muhammad Ali's very own Parkinson's Disease Research Center in St. Louis. And, of course, Cleveland Clinic does work in both of those brain disorders. And they're convinced that one day they will have a solution to the problem of Alzheimer's out of the work that's being done right here in Las Vegas.
You know, when Obama made those comments and then you pointed out what a convention city it is, I think it opened up the eyes of some people, though, if there's any silver lining to all of this. Did some people that didn't realize what Vegas offered for businesses and for conventions, you know, maybe take a look at you as a city to use?
Well, I'd like to think so, but I think that the damage was inflicted pretty deep. Yeah. And it didn't make much sense for people to look further than the end of their nose at what Vegas represented. We've had a remarkable mayor here in this town, Oscar Goodman, who has been in office for 12 years. He surrendered title and throne last November to his wife, who is now Mayor Carolyn Goodman. So we're in good, steady hands at the rudder still. And he has done a remarkable job of promoting this city. In March of this coming year, 12 weeks from now, the Smith Music and Arts Center opens downtown, which is a tremendous building that's on a par with Lincoln Center in New York. And already we've got some great events coming there, some great theater, some great dance. Everybody who has anything to do with the arts is all gathering in this one place. And in January, the Nevada Ballet Theater has its annual black and white ball with Ava Longoria from Desperate Housewives. So Vegas is getting on the map, despite what President Obama said about us being a gaming city. It's getting on the map by being a cultural city and a medical center city.
Now, you were born in Great Britain and raised there, but you made America your home. What do you love about this place so much, and what do we need to do to make our country stronger than ever? Does it start from the top and getting rid of this current president?
Do you have 6 hours just to get started?
For you, Robin, yes.
Well, here's the problem. I left England in 1963 and came to the United States because America was this extraordinary land, not just of milk and honey, but of opportunity. For anybody who got off their backside, worked hard, they were rewarded. Success doesn't mean making all the money in the world. Success means being good at what you do, winning at the game that you play, and then putting those rewards to good use in the community without the government telling you how to do it or taking the money to do it themselves and wasting half of it. So when I came to this country, it was the greatest land of opportunity that I had ever seen in my life. And Britain, at that point back in the early 60s, was rapidly on the way to becoming a socialist, almost communistic society. And when I look at what's happening in Washington in the last 12 months, and I look at what's laid out with this social agenda, I say to myself, I watched this become the downfall of Britain back in the 60s, which is the reason I left. And it wasn't until Maggie Thatcher came in as the Iron Woman and watched the movie when it's released, and took the tiller and turned it away from socialism back to conservative philosophies, that Britain began to become great again with the word great in front of its name, Britain. And my tears today are that lesson is not learned here in the United States, and we are rapidly on the road to becoming what Britain was when it lost Great Britain. And, you know, people who say that the debt that we shoulder today is nothing to be concerned of, we could very well be Greece or Italy or parts of the failed European common market within 5 years at the rate that we're going. It is silly to keep kicking the can down the road. Our children will pay for it. Our grandchildren might have no life whatsoever. So there has to be change, and I'm not talking of, 10 cents on the dollar change next November.
Do you see anybody that has even a sliver of maybe Thatcher's qualifications, or at least the boldness that she brought to the table and this current field, and whether it's someone running for president or just someone in the public arena who can help turn the ship around?
I'm saddened by the fact that there are no statesmen. I think a statesman is a person, be it man or woman, who carries with them an aura of leadership. And I think being a statesman is lacking in the current American political system, be it Democratic, be it Republican, be it independent, be it libertarian. There are no statesmen. The system has annihilated all possibility of statesmen. Now, we have an election coming up that is going to be solely fought on the economy. It is solely going to be fought on jobs. It was interesting to note that more than 20 economists gave Barack Obama a failing grade with the economy in recent days, and that they have pointed out that the one candidate at this minute who gets most of the kudos for financial management is Mitt Romney. This is a man of faith and a man of belief who does think that he can right the wrongs and turn the economy around. And I think that we have to keep looking at all of the potential candidates as they narrow down, welcome some new blood if that's possible to come into the fray, and hopefully America will elect the right person to turn the ship of state around and put it on the right path to economic success.
So you throw that little caveat in there, welcoming a new person, and that's what gets the Palin people crazy. They're still holding out hope that maybe she'll jump in.
Well, if by jumping in we get our hands around the right focus of what this country's got to do, and let's face it, even though candidates might not win, they do say things that are then taken up as part of the overall platform of the person who does eventually win.
That's a very good point.
We do see that. So hopefully, be it Sarah Palin's message, be it Michelle Bachmann's message, be it Chris Christie's message, be it whoever message, we've got some bright people, down in Florida and New Orleans that could still turn this whole scenario around, even if they were just vice presidential candidates. So I have hope. I have no change.
So along with Vegas Deluxe, what else is happening, and how can folks read your stuff?
Well, they can find it every day at the www.vegasdeluxe.com or the LasVegasSun.com. We post 5 new stories a day about everything that's happening in this city to do with arts and entertainment. We don't get into the political field, although we could throw a few zingers every now and again at Harry Reid. But
not too hard, right?
Well, he's an elderly gentleman.
Right. Watch out, he was a boxer.
And he delivered the papers every morning.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, that's we have. We still do television, satellite broadcasts from here. I I run a mobile television studio that's used by almost everybody that comes to town with our fiber optic business. So I keep my hands busy. I don't believe in retirement. People accuse me of being a workaholic, but I don't think I am. But I think that one of the things I've learned from working closely with Keep Memory Alive is that you keep that brain active and you don't let it decay. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised like all the other muscles in our body. And so there's a lesson to be learned there from the Cleveland Clinic Alzheimer's Association. Keep your brain active, and it will stave off any problems in the future.
Great message for folks, their health, the elderly, even those younger, and certainly a good message for Washington, too. Robin Leach, listen.
Nothing wrong in working hard.
You got that right. Thank you so much.
It's not taken away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
By people who don't work hard.
We've seen that too much this year, especially. Robin Leach, a legend in entertainment, a top-notch guy. Thank you, sir, for your time today.
Nice speaking with you.
Make sure you check out all of Robin's great work at VegasDeluxe.com and also visit KeepMemoryAlive.org, a great group working on treatments and research for Alzheimer's, ALS, Huntington's and Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, and memory disorders of all kinds. Exciting news regarding the governor this past week. It was announced that Sarah Palin will be the keynote speaker at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, on February 11th in Washington, D.C. Others expected to attend include Senators Jim DeMint and Marco Rubio, also GOP presidential candidates Newt Gingrich, Mitt Romney, and Rick Santorum. As for that Republican race, it was a nail-biter in Iowa during the caucuses, with Romney and Santorum duking it out in a photo finish. Santorum has really come on since Governor Palin praised him weeks ago. Michelle Bachmann finished 6th in the Hawkeye State and suspended her campaign. We wish her well back in Congress. Governor Palin weighed in on the results, saying she is not surprised about how well Senator Santorum did, calling him a social conservative. She also talked about Ron Paul, who finished 3rd. Palin warns the GOP to not marginalize the Texas congressman. She lauded Paul's supporters, too, saying they understand that a lot of Americans are war-weary and we are broke. Palin, of course, endorsed Paul's son, Rand Paul, in his bid for the Senate in Kentucky, a race he did go on to win. Also, this past week, Palin commended another Sarah, Sarah McKinley, the 18-year-old mom who shot and killed a man trying to break into her home in Oklahoma on New Year's Eve, all in the name of protecting her baby. Palin says she's all in favor of girls with guns who know their purpose, adding McKinley fulfilled a purpose of the Second Amendment, and Palin says she'd advise her own daughters to do the same. Governor Palin, always for the rights of gun owners. Well, that'll just about do it for this jam-packed edition of the Palin Update on SaraNet Radio. Be sure to visit SaraNetRadio.net for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also, follow us on Twitter at SaraNet Radio, and we are now on Facebook, so make sure you like SaraNet Radio on Facebook. I want to thank everyone here at SaraNet Radio. Thanks to the incomparable Robin Leach. And thank you for listening today. Please be sure to join us next time for another edition of the Palin Update. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.